perhaps we can combine two of the questions. This one is about a question about is it ethical to counsel a mother as well as her son as two separate clients? And if I can add to that a little bit, the husband and wife, if they both are seeing you for sessions, this is a similar kind of question. May a counselor reveal information from the session with the wife to the husband on his request? Perhaps you could talk around these sorts of dual relationships for us a little bit. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Candida, for the introduction. And welcome to everybody to this panel discussion. And we are three panelists. We will try to cover the questions the best we can. So my two colleagues, Stasius and Jack, will be my support people in this session. And I will be their support person. So this question is about dual relationships. I will try to cover both. It's not exactly the same issue. It might not be, but let's talk about that, around that. Counseling a mother and a son as separate clients, well, that is about a dual relationship. Dual relationships can always be tricky. So because it is an extension of boundaries, it's not, the client is normally one person, and then you set up boundaries and a contract or an agreement. But when you have two people from the same family, you have to clarify what is the presenting problem. If, in this case, mother and son, if they share an issue and it's a family issue, you can see it, you can see the client as the family is the client. And then you extend the boundaries, you can counsel both, but you still have to clarify what information will be shared and how, so that you keep objectivity and you respect confidentiality in each session. If the son is much younger and it is a mother bringing a son to counseling, it is a family issue. And then it's, like I said, you see the client as the family. In the husband and wife situation, we have two different individuals, although they're in a marriage relationship. And again, if they come for marriage counseling but see you in different sessions, you have to clarify what the boundaries are, how much information will be shared, how the information will be shared, if any, and get informed consent from both parties. You're not allowed to share information from the wife to the husband on his request. That's not ethical. You need to respect the confidentiality of each client, and you have to be upfront about how the co-working will work if there is a shared purpose in the counseling. If it's not not the case, I will recommend that the husband sees, or the wife sees, a different therapist to keep objectivity in place, confidentiality in place, focus in place, and you deal with the husband's issues and somebody else deals with the wife's issues. And you don't get an overlap of information that might blur your own view of the problem. And it might become problematic in terms of their relationship.
Yeah, thanks, Prof. Nicolene, also about the issue of, husband and wife or mother and son and all of that. Because you see, the church is this kind of a community. It's like a family. And it becomes very, very tricky how we handle close relationships that we have ourselves as counselors with the church members as on a regular basis, and then how then we translate into these professionals now that must provide this kind of a service as in counseling, which is so very private and confidential. And I think practically how we should deal with this, we should not take it for granted. We must move towards professionalization of this kind of a service in the church. And I know we could be like brothers and sisters and all of that, but to really help ourselves in terms of the issues where we get entangled into the dilemma of confidentiality, we have to professionalize this in conduct and in practice. And I want to say, as soon as you become a counselor, you have entered into a profession, irrespective of the level of your qualifications, because the welfare of the people that come to you now rests in you, in your conduct and practice. So I would suggest that we balance this thing. We must tighten up, professionalize, and inform our congregations and communities which we serve of this position, which is different from just being a regular member. But also there must be what I call establishment of protocols around this service, how people should approach you when they need counseling, because sometimes I know in church communities, after services, people hang around while it's a group of people, someone says, pastor or counselor, I would love to see you. Are you available this week? Then along the way, there could be issues of breach of confidentiality, which we cannot identify the source, because the person just approached you in public, I would say, among the crowds to say, pastor, can I be able to see you tomorrow or this week? Someone overhears that and makes a conclusion about the problem that I have and the issue that I'm going to discuss with the pastor. So we must professionalize this, establish strict protocols, give information, but also as soon as you become a counselor, your role in the church just changes. Your conduct must be so much that people can have confidence in what you do, and yourself can be able to contain confidentiality with their information.
What's important is that to create borders is very important. We talk about professionalization. We talk about transparency, integrity, and a lot of things on board. And especially in my case, I'm the pastor of a small church in a small town. So there's not the luxury of other counselors. So the people come to you, and you are the person to help them within their problems. So for me, it's very important just to create borders, to say that when you come to me in a professional sense, I'm not the pastor that sits on the pulpit. I'm now a counselor. And this is the rules in which we will use the space available within this whole session with each other or with them together. Sometimes for me, it's easier to get people together, to get their consent, and they come together because they have an issue with each other. And I see them together, and I put them through a lot of systems which I created while doing my PhD to help them verbalize and come to sense what's happening between them, what's needed to be done, what went wrong. So there's a lot of things that we can do to skip some time. But important, I always say, I'm not there to make a decision for you, never. And I'm not taking sides, never. And I'm the guy who help you to get a safe space in helping a conversation between you, and help you to get a clarification what happened between you and where to go, and then to create a future of hope. And that's really important for me when we see two persons connected to each other. I'm there really in a professional base and help them professionally through things. Also, because it's a small congregation, like Jack said, is becoming tricky. I will always say to them, when I see you at street or in town or in the shop, I'm not going to ask you, how are you? There's a strict border. When you see me in my office, then we do therapy. When I see you outside, I don't even remember why you have seen me, because it's another scenario. So that they should be very safe, that when you talk at church, people don't say, oh, they're coming for counseling because there's a conversation between them. There must never be such a scenario.
All our sins sins are washed away.